I am officially declaring myself a WNBA prospect. If simply declaring who you are is all that's required, then I meet every single requirement necessary to compete in the WNBA. Based on the current guidelines, I can and am officially declaring my eligibility for the upcoming WNBA draft in May 2027. I am definitely not here to mock, make fun of, or disrespect any community or personal choices. I am simply asking that the current rules be applied equally to everyone.
For those that don't know, that was former NBA player Enes Kanter. Back in 2011, he was the third pick in the first round of the NBA draft, but as a child growing up in Turkey, Enes Kanter had far bigger dreams than simply playing in the NBA. He had aspirations of playing in the league where dreams come true. As a young child, Enes was already choosing to identify as Inez. In his heart, he was already identifying with the female section of the gender spectrum. He dreamed of one day being allowed to use his preferred she/her pronouns openly. Now, obviously, he could not fulfill these dreams in Turkey, where Islam is the dominant religion. Contrary to the belief of deacons at Woke United Methodist, Islamists are intolerant of men pretending to be women. At 17 years old, Enes Kanter moved to the United States, but at the time, America was not ready to embrace this bearded beauty. For years, Inez had to hide behind his beard. Inez had to pretend to be something that she's not by role-playing as a man in the NBA, when the reality was, Enes Kanter was dreaming of having the lived experience of a woman. I am woman, hear me roar! Meow! Yesterday morning, after 34 years of living a lie, 34 years of pretending to be infected with toxic masculinity, Enes Kanter released a video on social media where she bravely announced her true gender identity. Enes Kanter is indeed a woman because she said so. According to WNBA players and head coaches, we are required to acknowledge this display of femininity. Referring to Enes Kanter as Enes Kanter, seeing the beard and automatically assuming he, him pronouns, that is a direct violation of the woke commandments, and violators will be charged and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. In her brave announcement yesterday morning, which really was courageous, Enes Kanter announced that she is officially declaring for the 2027 WNBA draft. Based on their rules and the recent admissions from WNBA players and head coaches, the WNBA has no choice but to accept Inez for who she says she is, which means the WNBA is officially on life support. Before we go any further, let's get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at BuzzBlocker. Seems like every summer, ticks are becoming more and more common, whether you're gardening, walking the dog, hiking, or even just spending time in your backyard. Ticks are something that a lot of us are dealing with. That is one reason I have added BuzzBlocker to my outdoor routine. I use BuzzBlocker before I head outside to help protect against mosquitoes and ticks so I can spend more time enjoying the outdoors and less time dealing and worrying about bugs. BuzzBlocker is DEET-free and made with all organic ingredients. It is simple, easy to use, and it's become something that I don't leave home without during the summer months. Every purchase with BuzzBlocker comes with a 100% money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied with their product, just give BuzzBlocker a call and they'll give you a refund. If you enjoy being outside but hate dealing with the bugs that come with it, click the link in the description or the pinned comment below. Use my promo code BTL10. Save 10% off your first purchase with BuzzBlocker. I've been telling you guys, the WNBA is hastening their own demise. This toxic turd of a league has been so blinded by inclusion. They are so infected with the disease of diversity. diversity. They have been so obsessed with equity that they failed to realize they're all about to be equally miserable because WNBA players are about to be unemployed. Enes Kanter is not the only former NBA player declaring for the WNBA draft. Following this courageous announcement yesterday from Enes, Royce White officially declared for the WNBA draft. He was the 16th pick of the first round of the 2012 NBA draft. Now, I'm sure you've noticed, I have refrained from describing Royce White as a former NBA star. That's because he played a grand total of 9 minutes in the NBA, which is 9 minutes more than WNBA players will be playing once men accept the invitation to join their league. Uncle KC, what do you mean accept the invitation? WNBA players aren't inviting toxic masculinity into their safe space? Oh, yeah? Earlier this week, Gabby Williams, who I'm told pretends to play basketball for the Golden State Vikings, I guess Gabby is tired of having to work for the $1.2 million that she's being overpaid every year. Like a true communist, I guess Gabby Williams wants to be paid while not having to work. That's the only justification I can come up with for Gabby Williams publicly advocating for her own unemployment. Watch it for yourself.
Trans rights now is our new battle. That's what I think I was saying, that like the battles have changed. Oh, yes. You know, like our intention's been the same, but now the environment has changed. We see trans people's rights being, stripped away from them. There's a lot of discourse around trans athletes and what they can compete in. I would welcome a trans athlete on my team or against my team anytime. So I guess that's the next battle that we have to fight.
Now, just to be clear, it's not only Gabby Williams who's inviting just for men into the WNBA. Her doofus head coach wants to fill the Golden State Vikings roster with testosterone. Cheryl Reeve, the pretend basketball coach of the Minnesota Lynx, Sherry is ecstatic about the possibility of masculinity becoming prevalent in the WNBA. This will be great! Will no longer be considered pretend basketball. If we allow men in our league, it will give us instant credibility. We will finally be perceived as real basketball. Like I told you guys yesterday, these comments from Gabby Williams were revealing because it shows you the priorities. It shows you what WNBA players are actually focused on. It is abundantly clear to anyone who has watched this substandard product that most WNBA players, they are not focused on basketball. Gabby Williams just told you their primary focus. Gabby Williams just told you their top priority. We are fighting for transgender rights. We are fighting for inclusion. You are fighting to put yourself out of work. You see, Uncle Casey is not against transgender athletes in the WNBA because I have this irrational mythical phobia. I'm against it because as bad as the WNBA is, as unwatchable as the WNBA product is, the women playing, they deserve the right to present a substandard product. On the court, Angel Reese is the drizzling shits. But she has the right to absolutely suck. An elite player like Enes Kanter. Uncle KC, Enes Kanter's not elite. He was a role player. Enes Kanter played 11 seasons in the NBA. There are 8.3 billion people in the world. 450 are good enough to play in the NBA. And every one of those 450 are elite. Angel Reese should not lose her opportunity to miss layups because Enes Kanter has the ability to make them. What I'm actually doing is protecting WNBA players. Problem is, they refuse to listen. You know, the other day, me and my wife are hanging out in the pool. She starts asking me why women had to go through childbirth, why women have menstrual cycles, why women had to go through menopause, why women have to deal with physical pain that, quite frankly, us men are incapable of dealing with. And yes, we are incapable of dealing with the pain that women go through. She's listing all these things that women have to go through, and I said, all you had to do was listen. In the Garden of Eden, God specifically told you, do not eat the forbidden fruit. You can eat everything else. You can eat the apples, the oranges, the grapes. You can eat the damn grass, but do not eat the forbidden fruit. And what did you do? You ate the fruit. You didn't listen. It is the same problem in the WNBA. When people say shut up and dribble, it's not because they're trying to silence you. They're trying to help you avoid situations like you're in right now. You are supposed to be basketball players. You are not supposed to be political activists. But because the WNBA refused to listen, they have now put themselves in a lose-lose. For years, the WNBA has described themselves as the League of Inclusion. They have been proud to be the Equity League. You just heard Gabby Williams say it. I would love to share a locker room with biological men. Matter of fact, I would roll out the rainbow carpet and play against bearded beauties any day. I'm so confident in my skills, I know Gabby would dominate. Well, Gabby, here is your opportunity. You have two former NBA players who are willing to identify as women and play in the WNBA. What are you going to do? You can't exclude them. That is the antithesis of what you believe. You've been telling us for years, we're the League of Inclusion. Pretend basketball is for everyone. The problem is, and this is really a problem now that the WNBA is offering 7-figure contracts. When WNBA players were making minimum wage, they didn't really have to worry about this. If and when Enes Kanter is allowed in the WNBA, it is the beginning of the end. If you're a WNBA coach, who are you drafting? Are you drafting a 6'4" unathletic center out of Iowa who makes 30% of her layups? Or are you drafting a 6'10" giant with 11 years of experience in the NBA? To make matters worse, the WNBA has already set the precedent of allowing transgender athletes in their league. Lashia Clarendon, she played 11 seasons in the WNBA dump. Now, in the WNBA's defense, she was born a woman and medically became a man. But according to doctors at Woke Memorial Hospital, the WNBA has already had a man playing in their league. So, what do? The WNBA is stuck. You either abide by your rules of inclusion and allow Enes Kanter to play, or you preserve the integrity of your league, or what little integrity the WNBA has, and you keep biological men out of your dump. One choice is the path to destruction. The other choice is the path to hypocrisy. It is the definition of a lose-lose. And it's one of many reasons to just shut up and dribble. This could have all been avoided if WNBA players had chosen to play basketball instead of choosing to play politics. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.